Hello, everybody. Thank you again for joining this morning, and it's a pleasure to be here and talking to you about cloud computing, along with all the other panelists and all the other speakers this morning. So, unlike others, it's my first trip to Coimbatore, actually. So it's a great place, and very happy to be here. So today I'll talk about. In the next 15 minutes, I'll talk about cloud computing, right? What are the transformations we've seen in the industry over the past 2-3 decades? What is happening in cloud? Why that's a big transformation? And what are the benefits you all can get from cloud? And how you can transform to the cloud? So just a few simple points I want to make to really help you in enabling your business, right? So let's get started. So we all know this, right? So what are the big transformations that happened in the information technology industry over the past 2-3 decades? It all started off with the mainframe computers, right? These are large, big systems that are kept in back-end rooms, and people really needed special access to get in and use that. So that was how it kind of started. And then one of the big revolutions, the big transformations that happened was the whole client-server computing, where you had like powerful machines, desktops, computers, personal computers on your desk, in your houses, and you can access data back to the server. So client-server transformation was one of the big transformations that happened in the 90s in the technology industry. The next one is the web, and Arun talked a lot about it in terms of how internet has been transforming so many different things in terms of how people can do things faster and do things better and reach places where they couldn't have done without it before. And the next big transformation that happened in the early 2000s was the virtualization technology, where you could take multiple of these systems and put them on one physical machine and really get benefits in terms of cost, power savings, etc. So a lot of different transformations has happened. And what is the next big transformation that we are going to right now? I mean, obviously, not a surprise given the title of my topic, right? It's the cloud, right? So the big thing is entire IT is now available as a service, and you all can, and customers can just use it, right? So Arun talked a little bit about how, don't have this fear of technology because you want to do your business. If you're in the construction industry, if you're in the manufacturing industry, honestly, you don't have to worry about how to build and maintain and run systems, right? Because that's not the point. So today, when you want to use a car, you just go use a car. You don't worry about how to build it, how to manage it, how to maintain it, and all that, right? So, or electricity, you don't worry about all the stuff that's happening in the back end. You just want to go use it and do what you do better, right? That's the main thing. So if you're a construction company, you want to worry about how to build buildings, how to do the design, all those things which you need to be focused on. Same thing with the restaurant, same thing with a cement company. I mean, there are people who want to worry about the problems which they need to worry about and use technology to really get the benefits in terms of reaching out, in terms of scale, in terms of optimizations and all that. And that is really what cloud computing enables. So one of the things, if you really look at those transformations which I talked about, right, what are the key drivers, right? Almost all of them, the biggest reason why it's been adopted is cost. Better cost savings for everybody, right? Mainframe to personal computers. Because the cost of personal computers was really not that big compared to mainframes, and you could afford it and use it, and that was a big driver in terms of why people started using it. Same with, and that's the reason why the client-server model took off, and same with the internet, right? Tremendous cost savings, and virtualization, tremendous cost savings. So one of the biggest drivers of why these transformations have happened is the cost savings. And the cloud is no different. The biggest, as we've seen customers adopt cloud and talk about cloud and thinking about adopting cloud, the biggest driver is cost savings. It's so today previously people had to worry about running these big servers in the infrastructure, managing it, maintaining it, buying new ones. As demand scales up, as companies grow, as Arun was mentioning, from 4% company to 10 and hundreds and thousands globally, your infrastructure also needs to scale, right? You have to buy more systems, you have to manage more systems. So all of these things are costs a lot of money, because you have to do all the infrastructure up front, and you have to kind of manage that. The cloud model kind of takes away all of that. You don't have to worry about all of them running, buying these systems, buying these servers, etc. Think about email, right? If you have 100 employees, 200 employees, you don't have to worry about having 10, 20 servers to manage that provision email. You just go get email as a service, right? And that's what cloud provides. It helps you with the economics. It's a fundamental driver. Secondly, it helps you focus. And when I say focus, it means focus on the problems and the businesses which customers are in today, right? If I'm a restaurant company, I want to worry about how to provide the best quality food, how do I get the ingredients, how do I manage it if it's multiple locations, how do I provide the consistency, in case of McDonald's, Arun talked about, not worrying about which server to use, which email, which access, all of those things is something which should be used as an enabler to do the fundamental business which one is in, as opposed to going and managing it and spending a lot of money on it. So the cloud model really helps customers focus on their business and leave the infrastructure to technology providers. And the third thing is agility. And this is one of the big drivers too, because suddenly you want to scale, right? So you have 20 customers, suddenly you're seeing things pick up, now suddenly you have 100 customers. Now, does it mean you have to go buy more servers, more software? No, I mean you just have to scale, and you can get into a model where as you use, you pay, right? You can roll out things faster, you can do all those things faster, so you can be more faster as a business, and really leverage the technology solutions by moving to the cloud. So these are the big drivers as to why the cloud model is really getting traction, and so much focus is there in the industry today in terms of for customers as to how to use cloud. So this does come with some obstacles, right? And some of them are real, some of them are perceived. And let's talk a little bit about them, right? So first of all, security. So surely a lot of people are worried about security, and that's important to address, right? So hey, if I'm running email or I'm running documents within my company, within the premises of my company, I think it's safe. Now, if in the cloud model, if everything is moved to some other location or in the cloud, how safe is it? Well, is it safe? Is it not safe? So that's something which people need to understand and evaluate for their specific needs. So compliance. I mean, for some industries we've seen. So, for example, like banks, they have very strict regulations on where the data should be and not be, and all that. Medical industries is another reason. Is another industry where some compliance, patient records, and all those need to be adhered to certain formats, and certain regulations have to be followed. And third is compatibility, right? Will it work with what I'm doing today, right? So those are things that customers have to think about before moving to the cloud. And at Microsoft, we have been thinking about these problems for a while, right? So we had cloud for many years in multiple different forms, right? Hotmail has been there for more than 15 years now. We have Xbox Live on the consumer side. So a lot of these different things, and security is something which we've been thinking about, and there is robust enough security that's built into stuff if you're using mail or a SharePoint or collaboration on the cloud. So those are all things which I've thought deeply about to really make it easy for customers to choose and adopt these technologies. Now, so those are the factors that drive cloud, and some of the things and considerations customers should have in thinking about how to move to the cloud. So fundamentally, I want to leave out here with three different models, right? There are three different models in terms of cloud, in terms of how cloud can be deployed. First one is a public cloud, second is a private, and third is the hybrid. So hybrid is basically a combination of both the public and the private. So very simply, public means everything is is not, nothing is in your data center. Everything, or within your company, within your IT organization, or within your IT premises, company premises, right? Everything is in the cloud. So today, if you use Hotmail, or today if you use Exchange in the cloud, Office email in the cloud, right? So those are all things where everything is there. You just use it as and when you need it. So that's an example of a public cloud. Private cloud is where things are within your infrastructure. You manage them, you add server, you provision, you manage. So a lot of these things are within the infrastructure, within the boundaries of your organization. And the third is the public cloud, where the hybrid cloud, which is a combination of both of this. And what we've seen is invariably customers move to the hybrid model. There are some things which you want to keep in house. Some things which you want to use the public model because you don't want to worry about it. So there are different technologies which Microsoft provides for running public clouds and running private clouds. And basically the biggest thing is you as a customer can decide which model you want. Right, so there are multiple examples. For example, Starbucks, right? You've all heard of this company, the coffee company in US. So a lot of it is a lot of retail stores, and there's a corporate. So what they decided is for email is everybody in the corporate office will get for email for them will be on premise. You'll have Exchange using in the IT organization itself. And for all the associates, people who work in the retail stores and all that, all of them, for them, email will be provided through the public cloud. So it's a combination. For some other company, a different model will work. So basically, given the parameters which we talked about, you can decide which model you want to and which solution you want to and go with that. And Microsoft really helps with that because you have different solutions and technologies that can help you based on the model which you choose, right? For example, Office 365. So this is a fantastic solution for small companies where all, and even large companies, where all email, it's completely in the cloud. Collaboration, SharePoint is completely in the cloud, right? Voice, you can using Link, you can have voice calls and from different locations, right? You can talk to somebody in the US or somebody in North India. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So you can just use instant messaging and Link to have voice conversations. So all of these solutions are available in the cloud, or if you want it, it's on-premise too. So these are two different deployment models based on the ones which it works for you. You can choose that. Same with Dynamics, right? ERP solutions and CRM online. You'll hear more about it in the afternoon sessions on how you can have Dynamics online in the cloud. Again, on-premise, right? You have Windows Server as a foundational platform. You can run this Exchange server or Link server or SharePoint and run all these different solutions on-premise. And you can mix and match. And the hybrid nature of it is really attractive for most of the customers. And there are a common set of technologies that enable you to do that in terms of identity, right? Active Directory. So if you want to have all your users in the corporate domain, Active Directory is a fantastic way to implement that and enforce policies for all these different users. Virtualization with Hyper-V and management. You can manage in-house, you can manage in the cloud. So all these different models based on the solutions and how you want it architected, Microsoft provides these solutions. So very quickly in terms of how you can think about transitioning to the cloud. So invariably most of the customers understand the benefits are realizing the benefits of the cloud in terms of what we talked about, right? In terms of agility, focus, and the real economic drivers. It really helps you to lower your costs and scale as and when you grow too. So 4 steps, right? Upgrade to the latest versions of the platform. This is Windows Server. You have virtualization that's built in. You can do that. Then leverage the benefits of Active Directory environments. So you can have a common identity across all your people in the organization. Then download and evaluate Office 365. So this is something which customers have found really a great value, because email, collaboration, communication, all of them is in the cloud. You can do all of that without even buying a server, right? You can just use them and pay as you go, monthly per user. You can just pay, and it scales. If suddenly we're adding 100 more users, you don't have to worry about buying more servers. It's all taken care, because you just go add a user, and it's all done in the back end in the cloud. And finally, you can learn more about all the different technologies, the benefits of the cloud, and the different technologies at the Microsoft.com/cloud website. So with that, I want to thank you, and would love to take questions at the end of the session. Thank you.